everyone, it's me again, and I have a tutorial for you today. This particular tutorial is going to be focusing on how to make colored mascara pop on your face. Colored mascara was a pretty big trend at the beginning of summer, and it kind of fades in and out of popularity as time goes on. It definitely caught on in Japan. I saw a good amount of colored mascaras out in drugstores around here. It was a big trend throughout the summer, but a lot of people have trouble with colored mascara because those itty bitty baby lash hairs are so small that oftentimes the colored mascara just kind of fades into the background of your makeup and you can't get it to be opaque. And the last thing you want is to spend extra money on a colored mascara, and some of them in the higher end side of things can get pretty expensive. Spending that money, expecting an opaque colored mascara, and then your lashes just looking like they're black. Colored mascara formulas can be particularly tough to work with because you're competing with your natural eyelash color. I kind of have, a little bit of an advantage here because my eyelashes are ash blonde, but the kind of ashy tones in my eyelashes still affect colored mascaras. So I came up with a few tips and techniques to help make colored mascara stand out against your eyes and actually look like colored mascara. So in case you want to bring this trend back into vogue or just kind of do your own thing the way I like to do, you can follow these techniques and learn how to make colored mascara pop on your eyeballs. Also, as a part of this tutorial, I will be teaching you how to do this simple, really easy copper eye look that is perfect for anyone with blue eyes. So even if you're not a huge fan of colored mascara or you don't exactly want to rock a blue lip or anything like that, you can take this eye look on its own and use it as a beautiful, natural, easy eye look to wear, during the day, or you can darken it up and use it at nighttime. Today's mascara that I will be using, by the way, is the Moly Double Needs Pang Pang Mascara. That's what it looks like. This I got out in Japan, but there are plenty of colored mascaras in the States. That's what it looks like. You can find NYX has colored mascara, Benefit just released a couple of shades of colored mascara, and you can use any color of mascara with these techniques and it will pop all the more on your eyes. So if you want to learn how to make colored mascara pop or just learn a sick copper look for blue eyes, then keep on watching. Hey everyone, okay, let's go ahead and get started with a simple, easy, quick eye look, playing around with colored mascara and getting colored mascara to kind of show up. This is what we're going for today. Nice bright blue lashes. This is using the Moly Double Needs Pang Pang Mascara, which I got out in Japan. It can be found in Japanese drugstores, but Moly is a Korean brand that has been making an appearance in the States, so you never know when this is going to come stateside. I know Benefit also makes colored mascaras now. Colored mascaras were trending this summer for a little bit, so you'll probably still find a good amount of them. One of the best tips I can come up with for getting colored mascara to really be striking and show up on the eyes is to use a kind of contrasting color as the tone for your main eye look. For blue, because I have blue eyes, I've known like the opposite of blue on the color wheel is orange. So coppers, oranges, kind of rusty shades all make blue eyes pop, and they're going to make blue mascara pop even more. First, I'm going to use an eye base. This is Maybelline Color Tattoo in the shade Caramel Cool. I'm not actually sure if you can still get this or not. I'm pretty sure you can. So I'm just going to use my finger, my gentlest finger, my ring finger, warm the product up a little bit, and I'm going to put this on my lid, blending up into the crease. This is quite a pigmented color, but we're going outer corner to inner corner, building up into the crease, more on the outside really. I'm gonna close up my color tattoo because these do tend to dry out pretty quickly if you're not careful. And right away, I'm gonna go in with my Real Techniques base shadow brush, which is the only brush that I managed to use for this look. So the entire look, one brush, and I'm gonna take that, make sure any excess pigment is off of it, and I'm gonna use that to kind of blend this out a little bit. Doesn't really have to be all the way blended out, but the more blended you get it, the easier blending is gonna be later on. The next shade I used, sadly, is from a palette that has been discontinued. It is the Kat Von D Ladybird Palette. Now, I felt so bad pulling this out, but there's a shade in here that I just had to use, and that shade is Cleopatra. Cleopatra is this burnt orange color back here, and honestly, there are more and more burnt orange shades coming out because people are realizing just how good it looks on blue eyes. NARS has a shadow called Persia that is very, very similar to this. It might be a little bit more red, but use whatever you have on hand. If you have this palette, great. I know you can't get it anymore, but I'm going to take a little bit of that Cleopatra shadow and I'm just going to rock it into the crease. Focusing mainly on the outside because I have smaller eyes, and the further I go in with shadow, the smaller my eyes are going to look. And there you go. So now that that is mostly blended, I'm going to go in with a palette that is available, the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye Palette, and I'm going to take the peachy shade on the far end right there, which is Ludwin, I believe, if I'm reading this right. I'm going to take Ludwin and I'm going to put it on the same brush, and I'm going to use that to kind of blend everything out just above where we put that orange shade. So in the kind of upper crease area. So now that that is nice and blended and diffused as we can get it, I'm going to go in and deepen things up. I'm going to take another shade from the Shade and Light Eye Palette, this one right here, which is called Succubus. It's a nice rusty red color. Just going to take that on the very tips of my base shadow brush and really dig it into the outer corner, going on the outer part of the lid as well, and the very, very deep crease. And you can just see how all these colors are kind of in the same family, so they're really blending together quite nicely. Very easily, not a whole lot of work to this, but you do want to make sure it's nice and blended out. So now at this point I wanted to add a real pop of copper on the lid and really make the lid stand out. I thought of a couple of different ways to do this. So first shadow that I ended up applying was Milani's Bella eyeshadow in the shade Bella Copper. It is gorgeous, it is beautiful, it is a nice bright metallic copper, which is exactly what you're looking for. And I'm going to take a little bit of it on my e.l.f. eyeshadow C brush, and I'm just going to pack this onto the lid where that sticky base is. It's going to latch onto that color tattoo and just give you lots of shimmering copper pop going on. So this is my drugstore offering for, you know, a favorite kind of metallic copper shadow. But if you've got the palette hanging around, or, you know, you've got the extra money to kind of splurge on it, I also grabbed the Lorac Pro Metal palette. I absolutely love this, actually a lot more than I thought I would. There's a ton of really beautiful shimmery shades here, and I'm gonna take Amber, which is that shade right there. It's the same kind of shade, same kind of family. The colors almost look identical on top of each other. So if you only have Milani's Bella Copper, or you're trying to watch your budget, just use that, but just to give an extra pop, I'm gonna add this over top of Bella Copper. Bam! See what I mean? And I'm going to take also a little bit of that, not really going to reload the brush, just whatever's left on it, and I'm going to brush it onto the lower lash line as well. So now that our lid color was on, once I got the lid color on, I was kind of like, I feel like my upper lids need a little bit more depth, a little bit more of a neutral just to ground everything. So I went back in to my Shade and Light Eye Palette, and I grabbed Jeffree, which is how you pronounce that, I believe, because I took Latin in high school. But Jeffree is this warm brown right in the middle there. And I'm gonna take that on that same base shadow brush that's been hanging out here this whole time, just on the very, very tips, just a teeny tiny bit of the shadow, because it is quite pigmented. And I'm again focusing this just on the outer corner of the eye, into the crease, blending it in with that copper shade and those rust tones, just to give a kind of neutral baseline. Now for the lower lash line, I'm going to go ahead and take that same Jeffree warm brown shadow, and I'm going to pop this just on the outside edge Not really going in too far with the brown itself. I'm keeping the brown just on the outer edge of the lower lash line. And I'm gonna go back over that with Succubus, this rusty color, just on the outside. And we're gonna go over that brown and in a little bit further. And then I'm gonna go back in with Ludwin, that color right there. The nice soft peachy shade, really nice blending shade, really nice transition color for smoky eyes as well. And we're just gonna put that in between the copper and the rust shade and use it to kind of blend everything out. That is the shadow done, and I'm at 12 minutes of filming. So really quick eye. And for liner, I started out moving in with my Revlon Color Stay crayon liner in Topaz. I don't know why they call this Topaz because it's freaking copper, but I love this liner. It's not really gonna show up like super opaque. You can see it's a little bit darker than those amber shades and that Bella Copper shade. So it's just gonna give you a little bit of a liner look. I also discovered after putting the mascara on this eye that putting a blue background against the mascara can also help, because if you have a flesh-toned waterline or a flesh-toned eye line, then the blue mascara will pick up on those fleshy tones and it won't be as opaque. So I took my L'Oreal Extra Intense eyeliner pencil. You can find these in the drugstore, I've seen them around. Sharpened it to a nice sharp point, and I'm just gonna tight line my upper waterline with this. But it's not as much of a cobalt blue as the mascara is, which ideally I would have like a blue the same color as the mascara as an eyeliner base, but this is the closest I had, so it's gonna have to work. But this you're not even really gonna see once the mascara goes on. It's just gonna provide that little bit of a baseline so you don't just look like you have blue spines sticking out of your eyeballs and then flesh tone. So now for the pièce de résistance, the mascara. Boom! The Tony Moly Double Needs Pang Pang Mascara in Cobalt Blue. Just look how bright that is. I mean, holy cow. So this, you're gonna load up on a lot. Upper lashes, lower lashes. I think on this eye I did at least 3 coats, probably closer to 4. So we're gonna wiggle this way in at the base of the lashes and kind of turn our mascara wand under, because we want to pick up every single inch of every little lash hair that we possibly can. Put on the lower lashes too. I don't normally do that, but this is a colored mascara, so naturally I wanted to put it everywhere. Also kind of lower your eye and brush the outside of your lashes as well. That is pretty much it for the eyes. Now, of course, as is usually the case with me, I have a couple more videos to film, so let's do some awkward eye posing. Awkward eye posing. Looking down, looking forward, looking blue. I am gonna go ahead and do the rest of my face, and then I will be right back with the finished look and the kind of wrap up of everything. Hey everyone, I am back with the finished look. So let's go ahead and do a quick recap of just how many tips and techniques I've talked through in this video to make colored mascara pop on your eyelashes. The first and maybe best tip I can give for really making that colored mascara stand out is to lay that stuff on thick. Remember, this colored mascara is already competing with your natural eyelash color, as crazy as that sounds. And chances are good, especially if you're using a bright cobalt blue like this, that your eyelash color naturally is going to be a little bit darker than this blue. So build that mofo up, add as many coats as your lashes can stand, because the easiest way to make a formula opaque is to layer it over and over and over again. Another technique to make your colored mascara pop is to take the color opposite the color of your mascara on the color wheel and center your eyeshadow look around that. Today, My mascara is blue, so I used oranges and coppers in this simple easy eye look to really draw attention to that blue mascara because orange is opposite blue on the color wheel. Another really solid technique for making your mascara pop is to have a lip color that matches your lashes. Remember, your lashes are a very, very small part of your face, so you're already fighting a losing battle to try and make those lashes stand out. The easiest way of doing that is to take a larger area of your face, your lips for example, and have that color match your eyelashes. Now, do you have to wear a blue lip? Absolutely not. I know this is not everybody's cup of tea, nor is it appropriate for work or daytime in most people's minds. So if you want something that's a little bit more natural looking, just look for something that has that orange undertone. A peachy nude lip would look beautiful with this, even an orange lip if you're really daring. A coral lip would look very nice. An orangey red really too. If you're not into wearing out and out orange, but you still want to go a little bit more bold, go for a warm toned red, that would help as well. So now that we've had the finished look going on, let's go ahead and do some awkward posing. Awkward posing. Looking down, looking forward, looking fierce. I hope you guys found this video helpful today and learned a little bit about how to make your colored mascara pop. And that is not, these techniques don't just apply to blue mascara. These techniques can be applied to any shade of mascara to really make it stand out on your face. And if you did find this tutorial informative and helpful, there's a button for that. Spank that like button in the butt, you know it deserves it. And if you want to see more from me, subscribe and become a member of the faithful today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Toodles!